If you're new to the channel, do like the video, consider subscribing the channel and please hit the notification button. Hi, today we're going to do 10 different types of trees, all the trees you will ever need. Things you want to have. This is not about what particular color, but we're going to try to use green trees, maybe some brown trees. I got a number 10, a medium, a small, and a rigger. And for sketch, I use a Staedtler 6B pencil. Brush is not particularly keen as long as it's a synthetic brush. Probably you need only one or two brush. I'm just trying to show you don't need too many brushes. You just need one or two brush, a rigger, a 6B pencil, and a little bit of paint. So 10 trees. Probably let's just roughly divide one. Yeah, so I will post the image. So all you're trying to do is a little bit of volumes, just random shapes, and that's one. So all I'm doing is not much detail. The drawing is very economical, and then that's the second one, and this one, it's like a poodle tree. Fourth one, let's do a few more oak or maple sort of trees, and let's do a few conifers. The shape conifers. Then we'll do umbrella or a balloon shape tree. Let's do one side offset tree just for the heck of it. We will try to squeeze in a small bushy tree, and the last, let's do another coniferous. Okay, so as you see, the sketches are very simple, very basic. There's nothing too much to think about it. And then for this exercise, don't worry about what colors you're going to use. Try to think in terms of 3 layers: a medium tone, a mid-tone, and a highlights if needed. So all I'm trying to do is, before I forget, make sure you remember there's a light source. Let's assume that's a light source, and the shadow is going to be falling on that side. So you always want to have a shadow that anchors the drawing. Important to have shadows. Roughly what I'm trying to look at is if it casts, it's not accurate, but just gives you an indication of where the shadows are. Okay, so as I was doing, I'm not particularly worried about what colors I'm using at the moment. All I'm doing is putting in some colors, and I'm putting in some dark tones where there is a highlight. Let's make a little bit. Notice how I'm holding the brush at an angle. It gives you the dotted lines, which gives you an illusion of dried leaves. I'm just dabbing wet on wet, 2 colors, so I'm not going fancy over the colors. Let's do burnt sienna tree or a tree in the fall. Again, the colors, more than the colors, all I'm interested is the tone. I'm trying to capture a little bit of tone. Evergreen. See how I'm holding the brush? I'm using the paint on the side. Sort of gives you an illusion of broken windows, broken, what am I saying? Broken leaves and broken branches. So same thing, let's do a purpley tree. Why not? For the sake of knowing. Same thing. So I'm taking a lot of pigment, but I'm using the shape as a reference, but I'm going very rough on the side. All you're trying to do is give a little illusion where the shadows are. Same thing. You can go as heavy or as light as you can. Remember the shadow on the side. So you're putting in a little bit of highlights just to say that where the shadows are. I'm just going over just to add a little more shadow on all the trees. More shadow on one side than the other. That's it. Then let's do a couple more. You get the idea. 10 different trees. Be confident. Take as much pigment as you want. That broken down leaves is what makes a good painting. So you get a little bit of shadow scattered around. And again, I'm not paying particular attention to what the colors are. I'm just trying to use two tones, a medium tone, and this one is a bit more wet. I'm doing a darker tone. And the next one, I'm using a simple rigger, or any of the thin brushes would do. That's a little bit of burnt umber. Little bit of branches here and there. Make sure you draw branches in the gaps. That gives you an illusion that the plant is doing well. So same thing. Easy. I'm going to come back and then just darken it a little more. I'm using the fingers just to blot it, to just add a little more texture. This one, I'm making it as a chunky branch. Maybe a little more roots. The same thing with this one. I'm gonna make a little more knotted tree. Go wild. Use whatever imagination you have. And let's do random tree. And for this one, maybe a greener stem. Let's say it's a bunch of tree with spindly collection. And the last one, let's say 2 plants. And last but not least, which is equally important, is to add a little bit of shadow. Gives you, anchors the tree. There's a little highlight just to show. And then I'm going to go ahead again, make a little bit of branches, add a little bit of shadow to give that 3-dimension. Okay, remember the lighting, so you're trying to do the shadow. That's it. So 10